Alright, listen, the biggest YouTube channels did not invent anything new, they're just following simple rules to make their videos interesting and engaging. Today I'm gonna show you every step you need to know to create amazing YouTube videos. We're gonna talk about scripting, filming and editing, but at the end of this video I'm gonna show you my secret sauce, which I finally created for you guys after you asked me like in every freaking video. But before we start filming anything, we need to make some pre-production and we're gonna start with the script. So before we start filming, we need to make a plan on how to give you viewers the best information without making it unnecessarily long and boring. Sometimes you want to watch a quick tutorial, click on this video and suddenly the person starts feeding his cat. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in your cat. I choose your video because I need some information about a certain topic, and if I don't get it fast and simple, I will choose another video and your channel will die because everyone is leaving. So if you're scripting a video, make sure to describe very quick and easy what to expect from this video and show the final outcome first to make sure the viewer gets what he's searching for, without giving anything away, of course. This type of intro is called the hook and ensures that the right people continue watching the video and getting the info they are searching for. After you introduce the video topic or the problem your video is gonna solve, you need to know exactly how to build and script the main part. The main part of the video is basically the message or the instruction you want to show to your audience. Try to keep it simple and straight to the point, since we live in a very fast world, people have a lot of distractions and a very short attention span. In order to keep them, try to divide your videos into multiple sections to kind of reward the viewer with finishing the steps before and motivate them to move on to the next one. This way your viewer does not feel overwhelmed and can follow you step by step instead of turning off the video. And after you've given the main information to your viewer, do not just say ciao and subscribe and end your video. Try to give them more value and move them on to your next video. The outro is the loneliest part of your video, since most people turn off after they got what they need to know. That's why you should keep it quick and simple and introduce more video from your channel as fast as possible. And if the viewer decides to continue watching your channel, the YouTube algorithm will remember that the viewer likes your content and will recommend your next uploads to these viewers in the future. And that's the simple trick how to get more viewers and grow your audience. Now we have covered all the important scripting points, but before we start filming the project, you need to understand what a video is made of. Now we're gonna talk about the video structure. A good engaging video is made of three primary tracks: the A-roll, the B-roll and the graphics. Let's break down each one and start with the A-roll. The A-roll is the primary footage featuring the main subject or content of your video. This track is typically consists of your talking head like this one, the interview or any other essential footage that drives your message forward. Since A-roll is taking so much time to film, especially if you are not a native English speaker like myself, I have built this all-in-one setup where I can switch everything on and start working right away. I have my Sony a7S III with my teleprompter to make sure I don't forget anything I want to tell to my audience, but it also saves me a lot of time. On my camera I use my G Master 24mm 1.4 lens. It is an expensive lens, but it gives me this soft blurry background and no need for a lot of light because of the aperture 1.4. On top of my lens I have my Tiffen Black Promise 1/4 filter, which creates this soft looking image and reduces all the digital sharpness of my camera. And because people care more about the audio quality than the video quality, I have my Sennheiser MK600 mic, which sounds very crisp and professional. In addition to that, I'm using my Aperture 120D with a big softbox to get a nice soft image. Now if I need to film a review about my iPhone, for example, I would turn everything on and sit down and talk about the specs, which I've wrote down before in my script. But imagine sitting down in a classroom and watching the teacher stand there and talk the whole time. We all hate it because it's boring. And to make it more interesting and engaging, we're gonna need some tasty B-roll. B-roll is the additional footage that supports what's being said in the A-roll. It provides context and adds visual interest to keep your audience engaged. For example, if I'm talking about the camera on my iPhone, the B-roll shots could include close-ups of the camera settings, or myself filming with this iPhone. I'm usually filming my B-roll in a higher frame rate to be able to slow down my footage to get the smooth cinematic shots. Alright, now we have two main video tracks, the A-roll and the B-roll, but in order to visualize some specs or separate the video into multiple sections, you can use some good looking graphics, like this one. I personally like to use icons, visual effects, or any other visual elements that help to reinforce information and make it interesting to watch. But to make them even more dynamic and fun, you can add some sound effects like whooshes, number counter, or shutter clicks. Just be creative, try something new, but try to keep it clean and simple. Alright, enough talking, let's film an example step by step and start with the A-roll. Before I start filming, I paste my final script into my teleprompter app on my iPad. After trying different teleprompter apps, I ended up using this blue one from the App Store. You can synchronize it on every Apple device and control it wirelessly. When it comes to my camera settings, I always film my A-roll in 4K 25 frames per second, 640 native ISO with the S-Log3 Cine picture profile. This gives me the most quality and dynamic range of this camera. Now we have a good looking video, but we're also gonna need some good audio. When I speak normally, my audio levels should be around -12 decibel. This gives me enough room for the post-production and does not fall into clipping. Clipping, please do not clip, it just sounds awful. Alright, everything is set up, now let's record the example A-roll. Today we're gonna talk about the iPhone 15 Pro, but also all the settings and accessories you're gonna need to get the best in cinematic video quality. If you like this video so far, give me a thumbs up, and if you wanna see more of my content, subscribe to my channel. Alright, after finishing the A-roll, we're gonna move on and film some B-roll. Since we're talking about the iPhone camera, I decided to film some shots of the phone itself, but also a few details of the camera and the accessories. When I film my B-roll, I like to work with some soft backlight which creates some nice shadows and a very good professional looking image. But I also like to move my lights if my products have some interesting patterns which could create dynamic shadows. To create even more dynamic, I like to move my body left and right and focus on the product to create some cinematic parallax movement between the subject and the background. Now we've got all the shots we need, let's start with the data backup and editing. To achieve the fastest workflow in your editing, I recommend you to create a preset folder structure which you can copy and use for your future projects. I personally use the following structure. First of all, I have my main folder which gets my project's name. Inside this folder is the footage folder which is divided into A-roll and B-roll. This is the folder where I save all my footage for the project. Beside that, I have my audio folder which contains my music and sound effects, a graphics folder with all my icons and graphics, but also a project folder for the project files in case I want to save this project for later or edit it on a different device. And last but not least, I have my export folder where I have all my final exports and thumbnails. That's the way I store my YouTube projects. If I'm filming a professional project for a client, it's pretty similar but contains daily folders with different cameras, for example like day 1, camera A, camera B and camera C. Alright, before we start with the editing, it's very important to understand that your editing style will decide whether a viewer enjoys the video or get bored and leave. Now let's dive in and start with the project structure. After importing my footage, my music and all the things I need for this project, I always create separate timelines for the A-roll, B-roll and the main edit. This is the way how I keep my projects clean and organized, but I also make a basic color correction to avoid staring at my log footage while I'm editing. You can do it manually, or you can use my S-Log normalized LUT pack, which not only transform your footage from S-Log into the normal Rexona 9 color space, but also normalize the saturation and the contrast to make your image pop. If you want to get it, I will put a link down in my description. Alright, now the project is organized and structured, let's start with the edit. I usually start to cut away all the unnecessary things in my A-roll before and after the text and divide the talking head into sections to be able to see all my bullet points in my video. And after finishing that, I copy and paste it into my main editing timeline and start filling the timeline with the B-roll, graphics and some sound design. After finishing my edit, I switch into my color tab and boy oh boy am I happy that I've switched from Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve. It's so much better when it comes to the general workflow, the editing, grading and all the new functions they give you with every update. But now the time has come to reveal my secret you guys have asked me in a lot of comments, and that's my color palette and how I create this clean look in my content. When I started my YouTube channel, I quickly realized that I need to create my own grading workflow to ensure all my videos look professional but also the same. I have spent over 2,000 euros and 2.5 weeks for color grading training and got some expensive plugins to create and customize this look, which you can now get with only one click. I have created multiple LUT packs which fit together perfectly. For example, if you work with S-Log, you can normalize your footage with the S-Log3 normalized LUT and attach a metallic or Kodak 2383 Cine LUT behind. This gives you a professional looking image without spending a lot of money and hours grading your footage manually. By the way, all my packs, including 2 different LUT versions and a manual on how to use the LUTs properly on your external monitor and for grading. Alright, now we have scripted, filmed, edited and graded the example video. Let's see the result. Today we're gonna talk about the iPhone 15 Pro, but also all the settings and accessories you're gonna need to get the best in cinematic video quality. If you like this video so far, give me a thumbs up, and if you wanna see more of my content, subscribe to my channel. Alright, as you can see, it's very important to understand the whole workflow in order to create engaging and visual appealing content. I have spent a ton of time analyzing my most favorite YouTube creators to get this knowledge, and I'm sure if you're following all the steps, your channel will grow and you will get a lot of views. Alright, now we're gonna make a pass on you guys. If you wanna learn more about filmmaking, feel free to check out my content and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you in my next one. Whew, this was a hard one. This is funny, I just did the outro and my Sony FX6, which is my B camera, just started blinking, which means all the media is full. Now I have to empty the cards and basically make all the things which I have explained to you guys in this video. So yeah, let's edit this one. Now it's off. Camera B, and now I'm gonna need my camera A for my A roll. That's why I'm gonna turn this video off. Bye guys.